Welcome back to Flint Creek Transport. My name is Justin. Today we're going to talk about tires. On most of our trucks, you're going to see a Continental steer tire. You're going to see a Michelin XDN2 drive tire, and you'll see a Continental HSR 2 or 3 trailer tire. So that's pretty much our common tire. So if you guys are an owner operator or fleet, whatever you're following, and you want to see what tires we run, this is the video to watch. And I'm also going to be doing some tire comparison videos because there's a new tire that is targeted. I don't know if I want to, at least for me, I view it as targeting the Michelin XDN2. You know, we all know the Michelin XDN2 has been a great tire. There's a lot of guys really like that tire. There's very few tires that compare to the XDN2. The only bad thing with the XDN2 is the price. The price has gotten kind of crazy. And not only that, the availability has been hard. Now since we're past COVID, it's starting to become more available again. We've been able to get some of these tires, but it did make me look at what other options are out there. It's always nice to run, you know, or have some options in case there is a flaw. But when I was at Continental, I don't know if you remember, I was down at Continental at the test track. They had a tire down there that I found that I didn't really realize that they had. And it compares fairly closely to the Michelin XDN2. And we are going to take a look at that tire today. So if you guys are wanting something comparable and yet a better price, you'll have to check this tire out. I will also go over the price difference. I won't tell you what we're paying per tire, but I will give you the price difference for what I pay for a Continental versus what I pay for a Michelin, because that's always something you got to take into consideration. Even though, yes, you might get more miles out of the Michelin, what is the price difference? Because if that price difference is too big, you can still put on other tires cheaper. Your cost per mile is still going to be less. So we're going to check that out as well. I'm going to head up to our tire trailer and into the shop and look at some of these tires to show you some of the differences. And it's pretty awesome because this is something that I've been working on for quite a while. I've been testing. So we got quite a few miles on some of these tires. So I'm going to go over these miles and numbers with you. Take a quick look at truck number 155. This is one you don't see very often, but this is one of the last Peterbilt gliders that we got. Well, it was 5 trucks ago, right? So this is truck 155. We're up to truck 160. It's been a good truck. We had it in the shop for a little bit, kind of getting a bunch of stuff done to it, but otherwise, it's been running pretty good. All right, guys, maybe to start it out, I'm just going to show you our steer tires, the steer tires that we use. And then we'll go to trailer tires, and then we're going to end up on drive tires. All right, I actually brought the tire out so we can see it better here in the light. So here is our steer tire. We've been pretty much sticking with these as much as we can. This is a Continental HS3 steer tire. We get these various sizes, but HS3 is kind of our tire that we've been running. Has a decoupling groove. This has been a really good tire for us. You know, wear-wise, as long as our kingpins aren't bad and things like that, like we can get some real decent wear out of these tires. I actually did, I should do it again, but I did a comparison with these tires versus Michelin XZE and one other, I think, Michelin steer tire. And, you know, you look at miles and you look at price. And at the end of the day, the price on the Michelin was over $100 more. And we were getting within 1,000 or 5,000 miles difference. So it just didn't make sense to pay that extra money for basically no extra miles. You know, so I was like, we're just gonna stick with the Continentals. And so far, we really haven't been having any issues with them. So there's really no reason for us to switch or find something else. There's some tires, you know, some Continental steer tires that don't work. A lot of guys would say this is more a long haul application, but this works really good for our application. We do a lot of local stuff and we do some long distance. These have been good for us. The HSR3 steer tire, well, that's like an all-round tire. The HSR3, I'll show you that one. And I know I say HSR3, we still have some HSR2s. This is actually an HSR2, but HSR3 is very similar. This is our trailer tire that we run. So this, again, has been a very good trailer. I've put these up against the Michelin XZEs. And again, we walked away saying these Continentals are a better tire. What I noticed what would happen with the Michelin tires. Now, don't get me wrong, Michelin is not a bad tire. We try to run premium tires, and Michelin has been a good tire. But in this application that we run, which is a spread axle, this is the majority of our trailers, is a spread axle, and it is a 10'2" spread on our walking floor. So we're hauling heavy, and it's spread. So you get a lot more scrub. And what we noticed on the Michelins, once they got down to maybe 6:30 seconds, 7:30 seconds, they would start to chunk out. I don't have any tires here because we basically don't run any more Michelins at all on our spreads, but they would start to chunk, like little chunks of rubber. It looks like someone went in there with a pocket knife and would chunk it out. And then what happens is it messes up the casing. So I can't send that back in for a recap. These have been getting a very consistent wear, right down 2 or 3:30 seconds. So they have been a good tire. And again, nothing wrong with the Michelin necessarily. It's just I didn't like how they were chunking. So yes, maybe it is something that is wrong with Michelin, but for our application with the spread, that's where I noticed it seemed like they were starting to chunk out. I didn't like that. So we've been getting better miles out of these Continentals. Now, this is going to be the fun one, if I can keep all my numbers straight. So these are the world-renowned Michelin XDN2, and these are one of my favorite tires right here, Michelin XDN2. And they have been a very solid tire for us. The beauty of these tires is we can put them on our trucks and not have to really worry too much about rotating them. They've just consistently been able to get really nice wear and just get a lot of miles out of them. So a lot of our trucks, what we do when we, like the over-the-road trucks, we'll get the Virgins, and then the local trucks that are more local, they would get the recaps, which I have recaps right here. We would recap our Continentals, or sometimes we buy a truck with Generals or whatever on, and we end up getting a different casing. These are the XDN2 retread, very similar to the Virgin tires, same tread pretty much. But I wanted to get Virgins on both here. So we're looking at a Michelin XDN2, and then we're looking at the Continental HDW2. I don't know if you can see that, HDW2, and this is their tread pattern. So these are both, they're both 11R24.5. So there you can see them both. They look somewhat similar, but yet they're different. A couple of years ago, this is going back probably 8 years ago, 10 years ago. I don't know. It's been quite a while. But anyway, Continental came out with a tire. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was something like an HD3 hybrid. I don't even know if they still sell the tire or not. But it was supposed to fight, or it was supposed to go up against the XDN2. And what would happen with those tires, I got a couple, I got like 2 sets. What would happen is little stones would get in there, get stuck in the grooves, and they would not come out. So they get stuck in there, and they would just wear and wear and wear, and would wear right down in through the rubber into the wire of the tire. So they came out, Continental did us right. They came out, they credited us, and they took good care of us. But so we tried it. I'm not afraid to try new things, but that was a no-go. It's not that when I find something good, I am always trying to find something better. It's more so, we have something that's working, and I always keep my eyes open for something better. But it's not that hey, what do you have that could beat this? What do you, no, that's not how it goes about. So this Continental tire that I found is a tire that, like I said, when I was on the Continental trip down in Texas is when I found this tire. And I'm like, why aren't we running this tire? So it is a little bit different because it's the Winter MS. Winter, I guess, probably be considered like a mud and snow. And this is a directional tire. So there's a couple things that are against it right there is that it is a directional tire. And then as far as you guys run in the South, I don't know how this tire would do for you. But in our application, what we do, we put it on one of our trucks, and it has been good. The driver likes the tires. One of the things with Michelin, when they get down to, about 8, 10, 30 seconds is when they really start to, you say, probably lose some of the siping, and they tend to lose traction. But with the compound in the Michelin tires, it was always a premium compound. So my brother-in-law had this saying, he'd rather run around in a wore-out Michelin than a new competitor tire, right? And kind of with these XDN2s is the compound of the tire was still pretty good. So even in snow or in different applications, you could still get around if you just took it easy and knew how to handle your truck. But that is kind of a flaw. It looks like, to a driver, it's like, oh, I don't got any tread back there, and they start complaining. But when they actually compare it to what's out there, the way the compound is made and the way it grips to the snow or, snowy roads, it's excellent. So that's one thing that I'm eager to see how these Continentals are going to hold up. You start to get better tire wear once these Michelins get down there. They tend to flatten out. Like they tend to, they got bars there, and they tend to, you tend to just, there's no siping, once you get way down there. I'll see if I have, I might have some tires. These are some that are wore down pretty far, but like this is an XDN2 cap that has been wore down, and you can see like there's like no siping. There's a little bit of siping here, but like in the center, there's not much siping at all. And it tends to wear and wear and wear and wear. So that's where they kind of gain miles, is that last little bit, because they tend to wear. Pretty solid. Here's what we did, guys. We threw a set. We have some over-the-road guys. That's where I like to test the tires out. And we've been running Michelins for quite a while, so I have good data on Michelins. Typically, we've been getting over 200,000 miles on a set of Michelins. And I have a set that we have on several trucks right now. So I have several trucks running. I have 2 trucks, well, more than that, but the trucks that I'm comparing is truck 144 and truck number 150. Probably if the drivers are watching this, they might learn something too. Truck 150, so he's running a 11R 24.5 tall XDN2. Right now is what he's got on, and he has got 261,000 miles on, and he's down to about 6:30 seconds left. And mind you, keep in mind, these guys are running heavy, not all the time, but they do run heavy. They do run a little bit local, and they do run distant, so they might hop on a road, big road, and go for 500 miles, so it's a combination of a lot of different things. But year after year, we do the same thing. It's just, we get the apple season, we get the scrap season, we get all these different seasons, but, so they're kind of doing the same thing year after year, just a lot of different things. So 261,000 miles on the set of Michelin XDN2 24.5s. On truck 144, we are also running a set of low pro 24.5 Michelins, and he has 123,000 miles on those tires. They are getting down there. I think there's about 10 or 12, 30 seconds left on those. And then on the Continentals, I have truck 154 running these Continentals, the XDW2, and driver likes them. They're good tire. And again, all these tires start out at 27, 30 seconds. They're down to 17, 30 seconds, and he's got 80, just over 80,000 miles on those tires. So what I did is figured out how many 30 seconds they start out new, which is 27, and then divided out to how many miles per 30 second they are averaging. On the XDN2 on truck 150, he's running right around 13,000 miles per 30 second, which is phenomenal, right? Which is phenomenal. So drivers make a difference. Kind of what they're doing makes a difference. And truck 144 is averaging 7,300 miles per 30 seconds. So almost half of what truck 150 is. Now, one has a cat, one has a Cummins in. One truck 144, I will say, does run probably a little bit more local. So that does make a little bit difference. He's definitely running more weight. If the more local they run, the more weight they run. And then truck 154, he does more over the road stuff. He is at 8,000 miles per 30 second. So the Michelins seem to be running out better. What I plan on doing is I'm going to run, I got some more of these in because I want to do further testing. What I want to do now is I want to put a set of these on truck number 150. So truck 150, like I said, is running these XDN2s now. He's down to like 6. So in the next service or two, they're going to be popping those off, and they're going to be putting on the Continental XDW2. So we're going to see what he can get. That's really the true comparison, what he can get. So our drivers do a lot of different things, but over the life cycle of the tire, they're doing a lot of the same things. So yes, some weeks they're running local, some weeks they're running over the road. I mean, we do so many different things, and sometimes it's more heavy than others. But this will give you a very true comparison. But this is kind of the data that I have so far. Now, one of the other things that we have to take into consideration is the price of these tires. So the price of these tires, there's a bit of a difference. And I'm not going to necessarily tell you what I am paying per tire, but I will tell you the difference in price. So this XDN2 compared to the HDW2, there's a difference of about $155 per tire. So that's a significant difference when you go to purchase these tires. And for us, if you're running these tires off pretty much, or if you're just keeping that truck busy, you probably want to go with a better, higher quality tire. If you are only putting a few thousand miles a year on, no need for the expensive tire. It's better off just getting a cheaper tire. But we're putting these tires on and we're running them. I mean, these trucks are running every week, every day pretty much, and they're running the miles, they're putting the miles on them. So yeah, $155 a tire difference. That does make a difference in buying these tires. So that tells me, because of the price difference in tires, this Michelin needs to run almost to 255,000 miles, right? To make it pay, to make it worthwhile. For us anyway. The Continental, on the other hand, can go around 200,000 miles. You know, so if I get 200,000 miles out of my Continentals, I better be getting 250 to 255,000 miles out of the Michelins. Because if I can't get 250 out of my Michelins, I'm going to have to be thinking about Continental. But again, there's difference in drivers, there's difference in work that we do. So that's why I'm now putting on a set of Continentals on the guy that got 260 out of his XDN2s. Let's see how many miles he can get out of these Continentals. It's going to be a fun test, interesting test. One other thing I will say with these Continentals, what we've been starting to do, and this might affect wear a little bit, but these come factory, or comes from the factory, or from when we purchase them. If you look in here, that is the TPMS sensor, so a tire pressure monitoring system or sensor. When we put this on truck 150, we're going to put the TPMS system on there. That is Continental system, so that's why it comes standard with the tire, and it is going to be on every tire on the truck. So truck and trailer, we're going to try to get these TPMS systems on. These sensors in there, they're simply just glued in there. You can also glue them in yourselves. You can put them in any tire, really, if you want to. You can put. I think we actually may be running some in some Michelins, but anyway, I eventually want to have our whole fleet with that TPMS system. I do really like it, and what it does, you can go to Continental's website and check it out, but what it does is, if our guy has a flat tire or a low tire, like maybe 90 pounds in there, and he goes around kicking the tire, it's not going to tell you, he's not going to feel 10 pounds, 5, 10 pounds, 15 pounds, but it's enough that over time it can hurt your tire. It can do damage to your tire. So it sends us an alert. It literally comes through as a text message or an email on my phone. I can set it up either way, but it comes through as a text message on my phone. It says trailer number 372. It's got a low tire and it gives 97 pounds or whatever it is. So I can, then I can text, which I don't, Trevor usually does, but Trevor will text the driver or, you know, see where that is. And I also set it up too that the driver can get the same message as well. So the driver knows, everyone is communicated, everyone knows that, hey, this tire is low, I got to check it out. And it actually saved us quite a few times, multiple times on just the rigs that we have in, it has saved us. So I think that's really cool. And especially like a fleet our size, it is somewhat expensive, but when you can pay for a tire, $300 or $400, or tires are even more expensive, but that's huge. One tire that blows on the road or is bad on the road is $1,000. You know, we get out there on the road and it happens sometimes, but it's $1,000 till they come out, do the road call. That's $300-400. Tires $400 or $500, and taxes and fees. I mean, it's pretty much $1,000. And a lot of times they don't have the right tire size in stock, or they don't have the tire that you want. They got some cheap one in there, some Chinese tire, and then we end up having a tire that we don't really want around here that we got to somehow wear off and try to match up or whatever else. So much rather have our own tires. But that TPMS system is really cool. Conti Connect, I think it is, but Continental Tires is the ones that offer that, and I do really like that. So that's kind of the tires that we run and what I'm looking at. I do really like this Continental. I don't like that it's directional, but we have been rotating them on truck 154. We're gonna see how they run out, and yeah, what kind of miles we get out of it. We're gonna put them on another truck, see what we can do. So if you guys can keep me, like if there's a tire that you feel that you can get in a load range H, like a 16 ply, get that in a 16 ply tire, our size tire, that is a very comparable tire to the XDN2 and can last longer or as long or as good of a price point, whatever, I would love to hear. So I know there's a few other tires out there, but I really like these tires because they have consistently been really well for us. But I'd love to hear what you guys are running, what you guys are running for steers and things like that. And I'll try to get some more information on our steer tires, like how many miles we're getting out of our Continentals. But typically what I can remember is we're getting between 80 and 100,000 miles on, depending on where these guys are going and what they're doing. So right in that 80 to 100,000 miles. And that's, again, that's in our application. I've tried Michelins, I've tried a lot of different tires, but that's pretty much what we're getting. Sometimes we're eking out a few more, but mostly we're in that 80 to 100,000 mile range. But yeah, I'd love to hear your feedback, what tires you guys are using and what kind of miles you're getting out of them, especially if you are running heavy. We're running 100,000 pounds on a 5-axle rig. Our trucks, standard truck and trailer, 18-wheeler, 102,000 pounds. We're legal here in upstate New York. Go up into Canada, it's like 99, and then Pennsylvania, we're running right around 90,000 pounds. So gives you a little idea. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And if you want more information on Continental, I can also put their website and put Paul's information in the description below. So also check us out, flintcreekmerch.com. Got a lot of good jackets, hoodies, and cool stuff on there. Also got coffee, hammerdowncoffee.com, or you can buy your coffee and your merch all together at Flint Creek Merch. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Peace out.